Obinna never believed in masquerades. To him, they were nothing more than old men playing dress-up, wrapping themselves in tunics, rattling cowries, and prancing about in painted masks to scare gullible villagers. He'd say so out loud too, with his friends chiming in. They're just sweaty uncles in costume. They were city boys, after all. Lagos born, Lagos bred, the village was a yearly detour, a place of boredom, strange accents, and outdated rituals. But this December visit to Umuoji was different. For the first time, Obinna's whole crew, Chuka, Bayo and Ebuka, were coming with their families for the Christmas holiday. Their parents, once childhood friends, had all decided to visit home at the same time. Obinna was thrilled. At least he wouldn't be alone in this mud-walled, tradition-soaked prison of a village. Preparations were already in full swing for the famed Odo Masquerade Festival, a sacred rite held once every 2 years to honor ancestral spirits returning from the land of the dead. The villagers whispered stories of spirits that walked with men, of masked beings not born of flesh. Drums echoed across the trees, chants filled the air, and sacred trees were adorned in red and white. Cloth Obinna and his friends, they couldn't care less. What nonsense! All these people need Jesus, Bayo snorted, watching an old woman sprinkle white powder before a shrine. They're stuck in 1850, Chuka added, filming with his iPhone for Instagram. #Juju Central. But Obinna had a wild idea. Brewing, something bold, something unforgettable. What if we prove the masquerades aren't real, he asked, his eyes gleaming. Ebuka scoffed. By doing what? Let's go to the Odo Grove tonight, where they prepare for the festival. Bayo's grin widened. An unmasked one? Show everyone it's just a man. Exactly, Obinna nodded. It's about time someone exposed this rubbish. They all agreed. That night, they waited until the village slept under a blanket of chirping crickets and distant drums. There, torches were ready, phones charged, hearts pounding. They crept into the forest, avoiding the main paths. The air grew colder, the trees thicker. The songs of insects gave way to something else, low chants carried by the wind, and rhythmic drumming that seemed to come from underground. Then they saw it, a single masquerade, small, delicate, alone. It danced in the moonlight with graceful, hypnotic movements, its raffia-covered limbs slicing through the air like feathers. Around it, the wind seemed to swirl in time with each step. The boys watched, wide-eyed. That's a kid, Bayo whispered. Easy target. Obinna nodded and gestured for them to circle it. They moved in slowly, closer, closer. The masquerade stopped dancing and tilted its head. As if it sensed them, Obinna lunged first, grabbing the figure by the shoulder. The others tackled it down, laughing breathlessly. "Remove the mask!" Chuka shouted. Obinna yanked it off and screamed. There was nothing inside, no head, no face. No flesh, no bones, just darkness, a yawning black void where a human face should have been. And yet the body beneath the tunic still writhed. It thrashed and trembled like something alive. Then, with an unholy shriek, it flung them back with invisible force. The boys scrambled to their feet and bolted through the trees, crashing into branches, cutting their skin on thorns, panting and sobbing, but it was chasing them. Fast. Too fast. Behind them, the masquerade floated, yes, floated, above the ground, its robes flapping like wings, chanting in a language that pierced their bones. Obianuju juru nuzo, nuzo juru naja. They burst into Obinna's grandfather's compound, slammed the door, and locked it. But the chants continued. Right outside, they huddled together in Obinna's room, gasping, trembling, too afraid to speak. From the window, they could still hear it dancing in circles, dragging a wooden staff on the ground, leaving scorch marks on the soil. It stayed until the cock crowed and vanished. For the next 2 weeks, they never spoke of it. They returned to the city, eager to forget, but Obinna couldn't. Not when the dreams began. Each night the masquerade came. It dragged him through shadowy forests. It flogged him with canes made of fire. It forced him to kneel before ancient spirits with hollow eyes and teeth made of iron. And each time, Obin awoke with real scars, bloody welts across his back, cuts on his feet, bruises on his face. His mother screamed. His father called doctors. None could explain it. He stopped eating, his eyes sank, his skin turned grey. At night his screams woke the neighbours. Then one evening, after waking with his fingernails ripped off in the dream, only to see them bleeding in real life, he broke down and told his father everything, every horrifying detail. His father didn't speak for a long time. Then with solemn eyes he said, "Obina, do you know what the Odo Masquerade is?" Obina shook his head, weeping. "They are not men. They are the spirits of our dead elders. We do not dress up to honor them. They come on their own. We only receive them, and you attacked one. I didn't know. You trespassed into their grove. You unmasked a spirit. You desecrated the sacred. What do I do, Papa?" His father rose, eyes fierce. "We go to church." That night, they took Obina to a mountain prayer session. Pentecostal warriors in white garments surrounded him, laying hands on his feverish body. They prayed in tongues. They sang psalms. They poured oil over his head. Obina screamed, he convulsed, and then he was still. The next morning, for the first time in weeks, he woke up without pain. The dream stopped. But something inside him had changed. He became quieter, more withdrawn. When friends joked about village festivals, he stayed silent. When they laughed at shrines or mocked tradition, he only stared, because he still remembered. He remembered the empty mask, the chant, the chase, the taste of blood in his mouth. And sometimes on quiet nights when the wind howled just right and the shadows danced across his room, he swore he could still hear it. Obianuju Juru Nuzo, the masquerade's chant, calling, waiting, watching. He had learned his lesson, but some spirits never forget, and they never forgive.